So right now, I'm going to create a new file inside our object oriented file. Okay.
Yeah. You can also share it in Git afterwards.
Can you share? Can you see my screen?
Yeah, I can see your screen.
Okay. Can I start now? Hello?
Yeah, you can start. Yeah, start recording and do it.
Yeah, I already started to record this class. Okay, so object-oriented programming, right?
Yeah.
So can you remember that I told you everything in Python is considered as object, like all properties and methods, functions,
Yeah.
everything considered in Python is object and an object.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
to start object-oriented programming, so we have to know about the class keyword. This is the class keyword, okay, and then the name of the class. Name of the class, let's say my class, okay.
Yeah.
So first I declared the keyword class, and then I named the class name. So you can change it, or you can put whatever you like, okay, based on the requirements of the code. So I put the name my class.
Yes.
So inside the my class, let's say declare name equal Charan, okay.
Yeah.
So right now, to get a class will in function we learn a function to a specific task, right?
Yeah.
Whatever we declare or whatever we write inside the function, it completes this task. Like function, class is also a thing. Class is also let's say uh, if you develop a game, maybe there are some points will just repeat again and again, right? So
Yeah.
so for repeating this part again and again, you have to write the same code again and again, right? So it will be a long
Yeah.
script. It will be a long script. So what if we can create a prototype of the task, and we can reuse this prototype every time. So we will use 3 or 4 lines of code in one place, then we can reuse everywhere. Then the script will be with less code and it will take less time and the code will be very clear, right?
Yes.
Right. So function is like a prototype of a specific task. So you will learn through code. So to make a function, you have to first declare the class keyword and then class name, and then you have to write whatever the class will do. Okay. So to access the class, you have to create an object, like object name is, let's say, P or obj. Then you have to declare my class, and then you have to call the class. Okay. And then if you print object, okay, then you will see what happened. You can see this is object, right?
Yeah.
So if we want to access this name under this object, then what we have to do? Object dot name. You can see the suggest us. Sharon, did you see?
Okay.
Okay.
Can we name anything like object instead of object? Can we do
Yes, you can
any
name
name? P is equal to Mike.
whatever you like. This is variable name. You can put whatever you like. This is the function class name. You can put whatever you like.
Okay.
Okay. So one thing. So you can see I declared a variable and I put a value of this variable right inside the class. So when you will declare any variable inside the class, you know what is this? Can you answer me? What is this? This is a variable, right? You'll tell me this is a variable. Right now, this is not a variable. This is the object. Whole thing this is object because in the variable we put the class, right?
Yeah.
But this is a variable, right?
Yeah.
So this is a variable, okay. But when you declare any variable inside a class, this is called property. Property, okay. And when you declare a function inside a class, like okay, return true. This function is called not function. This function is called method.
Okay.
Method, okay. So when you declare any variable inside a class, so this variable is known as property, and when you declare any function in a class, it is known as method. Okay, did you understand?
Okay. Yeah.
Did you understand?
Yes. And when this class is assigned to variable, then that is called an object. Yeah, I
Object,
understood.
exactly, exactly. Object. Everything in Python is object. I explained it with you. If you can remember it, I will explain it later also. Okay. Don't worry. Object. Okay. So we can just access in this way inside every property inside the class. Okay.
Yeah.
So every class has a constructor. Constructor means when the class will be called, then this function will be executed automatically. In Python, for a class, there is a init function. Init function. Say, so what is init function? Init function basically a constructor function. So you can see this is the dunder method. I explained the dunder method. So init function is a built-in function. This is a built-in default function of in Python. So when
Yeah.
you declare any init function inside a class, so if you call the class, this function will automatically call. Basically, this function
Okay.
represents this class. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. Okay. So you can ask me why this self.
Yeah.
Self keyword basically indicates this
Yeah.
class. Okay. So self dot name
Okay.
means this name variable. This name variable under this class. Self dot age means this age variable is for my class. This age variable is under my class. Okay. So when this class will be
Okay.
called, then this
Yeah.
function will be automatically executed. This is a dunder method init function, you know, and this is a Python built-in function. Okay. So let's see how it works.
Yeah.
I'm gonna remove it.
So, self, yeah, self means
Self indicates this class. Okay. That means we are
okay,
talking
and
here.
dot name dot age.
Self dot means self dot name. I mean my class dot name. I mean this name basically representing this my class. I mean this name variable is basically under this my class. So okay. So whenever you declare
Okay, so you are telling this class. Yeah, you're telling this class My class dot name
You
you
can see.
accept as Charan. My
Yes,
class
yes.
dot age take
And
it as
declare
Raghu.
this.
Like
Whenever you declare any function inside a class, you have to use the self keyword. That means you are telling this function, hey, you are under my class. Okay? So that the my
yeah, got
class
it.
access this function. Otherwise, my class will not be able to access this.
Yeah,
Okay? If I remove this now,
yeah,
let's say if I remove this, they will show. See, they'll show error. Because you must have used this keyword. You have to
yeah,
define this method. You have to declare this method, define this method that, hey, you are under my class. You are not, independent. You are dependent. You are under my class. Okay?
yeah,
And this is basically
yeah,
a variable or property, you can say. But using this self
yeah,
keyword, we are telling that, hey, since this init function automatically will be executed, so this name is under my class. That's why you can see we can access. We declare the my class, but we can access the name. We can also access the age. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. Because using this self keyword, we are telling that hey, you are under my
Yes.
class. You are under my this age variable. This property is also under my class. Okay.
Yeah.
In one word, we are just giving my class to access this name and age variable using the self keyword. Self indicates the my class. Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Did you understand? And you can see we don't have to do anything else, but this init function is automatically executed. So how can we prove that init function is automatically executed? For that, let me return Charan. Let's see. So it will show some error. Okay. Okay, sorry, it's not written like. Okay. Okay. You run this thing. Mm. Ah, you can see. So when
Yeah,
we
I can
call the
see.
my class function, my class, then this function automatically executed, and this function, send this name and age to my class. So we can access directly
Yeah.
this name and age variable. Okay.
Yeah.
So you can also pass some parameter like name and age. So name equal name, let's say age equal age. Age means this age. Okay, age one. For more clearance, I will tell you. Name one, age one. Okay. So let's see, it will show error
Yeah.
because because this is a built-in init function basically represents this class. Okay. So since we are passing two parameter in this init constructor method, that's why we have to pass the two parameter also here. Charan
Okay.
and 20. Because why? Because when you call this class, this function gonna automatically execute it. And since this function gonna automatically execute it, and you are not passing any argument, okay? So this will raise error, okay?
Yeah.
And when you pass this argument through this class, so they directly gonna pass these arguments through this function, okay?
Okay. Yeah.
Did you understand?
Yeah. Understand.
Do you have any question?
No, I understood this.
So we learned about this thing, and right now we're gonna learn to declare custom methods inside a function. Let's say the uh, details, okay? Details, and we are returning, we are printing uh, user name is self.name and age is self.age. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is not built in or built. This is called also the constructor, you know, constructor method.
Yeah.
Because this function will automatically execute whenever you call this function. Okay,
Yeah.
so this is the details method. So this will not be automatically executed, right? So because this
Yeah.
is not built in a constructor method, this is a custom math function which is called method inside a class. So
Yeah.
when you call this function, let's say I'm gonna remove this object dot details. You can see
Yeah.
details. I'm calling this function. Username is Sharon and age is 20.
Yeah.
You understand?
Yes.
Or we can directly return this here. So you can see if I remove the self keyword, you will not be able to access this function because self using the self word, we are telling them, hey, you are under my class and my class has the access to use you. You got my point?
Yeah. Yeah.
That means we are giving the citizenship of this function to the my class, and my class can access him.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yes.
Okay. So
Yeah.
so let's say what happen if I remove the print and if I activate the return function. Let's say I'm returning this, okay? If you call this function, you can see, okay?
Yeah.
Okay, so did you understand how to define a
Yeah.
constructor method or
Yeah. We can.
custom method inside a class?
Yes. 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 I understood. We are getting the same result if you are using return or if you are using print.
Yes, but there is a simple difference. What is the difference? Let's say, yeah, I'm not gonna print it. I'm gonna just call it object.details. You can see they are not returning anything because return means they will return a value, but not print. Okay? Print means, print means which will
Yeah.
give you the output, and return means it will give you the return, but it will not gonna print. Okay?
Yeah. It will return means where it will. I mean, that
And
will
let's say
happen.
you can directly res call res. Okay, let's see what happened. You can see when you return a
Yeah.
value, to get the value you have to print. Whatever you do, if you want to
Okay.
get the value, you have to print because they're returning the result and putting this into here, but they're not printing. When I
Yeah.
print, I got the result.
You have to return. You have to use keyword return when you want to return the value. If you want to print, you have to use print value.
Yeah, exactly. Return means they are returning the value, not printing. Printing means giving the output. You know.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah, understood.
you understand. So you can
Yeah, understood.
use any kind of keyword except you without the self. You can use like, let me try with my object, my obj. Okay. So you can,
Oh, we can replace the self, right?
yes, you can replace.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Let's see. You can see.
Yeah.
So construct, whenever you define any function or any function inside the class, we know this is called method. And when you define a method, the first parameter is, considered as self. Did you understand?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. So you can
Yeah,
change it.
understand. Yeah.
But self is much more professional and easy to understand, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Which defines this my class instance.
Yeah. So the use of object-oriented program is to reduce the code and reuse the code, right?
Exactly. Let's say if you have to just get the details of the user, so what do you have to do? You don't have to write these lines of code once again, right? You will just you will, let's say if you want to you want to get the details, right? So
Yeah.
every time you will just let's say for more user, okay, for more user we have to just change the name, right? We
Okay.
don't have to write the whole
Yeah.
3 to 5 lines of code. We just have to, you know, run and pass the new variable. That's it. Okay. So let's say if you just sorry, you can see just 2 lines of code. We
Yeah.
just but when you go to for bigger projects or for big applications, it will very helpful. But for now, you cannot understand this thing. Okay.
Yeah.
This
Okay. No problem.
class
Yeah.
helps us to make a prototype of a specific or some kind of task so that we can reuse the code and we can save our time and everything. We don't have to write
Yes, I
10 or
understand.
thousands lines of code again and again, which is already done, right?
Yeah.
So there are
Yeah,
four
understood.
pillars of Python object-oriented programming. Now, every programming has four
Yeah.
pillars. Sorry.
Yeah.
So the first one is, inheritance. For object-oriented programming, there are four
Yeah.
pillars, four main uh, four main things. First one is inheritance. Second one is let me define. Just a minute. Just a minute. Let me take the medicine.
Yeah, you can take your time.
Okay. Okay. Uh, Abstraction. There are the four main sections for, you can say, four pillars for Python object-oriented programming. First one is inheritance, second one is abstraction, third one is encapsulation, and fourth one is, polymorphism. Okay. So today,
Yeah.
we will just focus on the inheritance part. So when you will work on a part, we will
Okay.
explain this thing let details. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So inheritance. You already understand that. Hearing this inheritance code, right?
Yeah.
Inheritance. Inheritance.py. So inheritance mean something inheriting, like you understand the keyword, right? So
Yeah.
inheritance helps us to access all the methods and properties of another class. You
Oh,
know,
okay.
you are the inheritant of your father, right?
Yeah.
So you have the access all of the resources of your father, like all the lands, house, right?
Yes.
Am I right or wrong?
Yes, you are right.
So the same thing for object-oriented programming. In an inheritance means when you inherit any object to another, any class to another class, then the parent class, you know, can access, that inherited class can
Yeah.
access all
Yeah.
of the properties, all of the methods of that class. So in the time, you know,
Yeah.
we have our parents, right? And we can get access all of the resources, right? As a child, all of their lands, homes, and everything. So in programming, this is the same concept: parent class and child class. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's create an example, then you will understand well. Okay. So let's say create a class like person, and we are defining our
Okay.
built-in function. Okay. And I'll
Yeah.
name I'll name I'll name age. F
Yeah.
name is F name sub dot L name sub dot age equal age. Okay.
Yeah.
Div details, tree or return f string. You know f string, right?
Yeah. One second, I'm getting a call.
Okay.
Please continue.
Okay. So you understand the code I wrote here?
Okay, yeah, understood.
You understand?
Yeah, understood.
You understand, right? So I wrote a class person,
Yeah.
and I'm passing some three parameters here, and these three are variables, properties. Okay,
Assigned to variable.
and we are passing assigned
So
this
I got
parameter.
question.
What?
Yeah. So here one question. Here you are telling that self dot fname variable equal to this parameter. That
Yeah,
means please save this parameter in this variable, right?
yeah, yeah.
Okay. Continue.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay. Okay, so when I print this details function, we get the details of the user, right? So this is nothing. Very, very.
Yes.
We did it already in our previous file, right? So right now we're gonna
Yeah.
create a child. We're gonna create a child class. Well, class. Let's say child. We are inheriting person. Okay,
Okay.
and let's say
Yeah.
pass.
Yeah.
Pass means we are doing nothing in this class.
Yeah.
So now we are going to create an object. Let's say object called child. Okay, child
Yeah.
print object.
Yeah. Print object.
Just a minute, I'm replying. Okay, so you can see they are showing error. Because why? Because
Yeah.
because this child class already inheriting this, let's say, make it parent, then it will be
Yeah.
more readable, right? Parent,
Yeah.
parent. So uh, you can see they are showing error. That what they are telling. They're telling init missing three required positional arguments: fname, lname, asname. Because we are running this function, but why they are showing that we are missing three parameters? Because this child,
Yeah.
this child, this guy is already inheriting his parent, right? And
Yeah.
parent executing this function automatically. That means when you call this
Yeah.
class, this will call this class, and this class, when this class will be called, then this function will be automatically executed. And then they need
Yeah.
this three positional argument, right? But they are not getting this three positional
Yeah.
argument. So that's why they are showing error.
Yeah.
Did you understand?
Yeah.
See, it is
Yes, I
like that.
understand.
It is like that. You are the inheritant of your father. Okay, your father has land and home, but they are not giving you the land or home. So normally you will do some argument with them, right? Why you are not giving me?
Yeah.
Am I right? So that's why we
Yes,
have
you're
to
right.
pass Charon and there are last name. What is your last name? Charon.
Pendala. 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 Yeah.
Let's say it. If I pass, they will not show any error, right? So let's say,
Yeah.
so we declared the child class in object, right? So if we print
Yeah.
object dot, you can see we can access everything. We are calling the child, but we are
Yeah.
now can access age, last name, F name, and details. Let's say, call the details. You can see you are getting the details.
Yeah.
As a child of your parent, you have the access to all of the resources of your parent,
Yeah.
right? So this is the inheritance
Yes.
basically. Very easy, right? Very easy, very simple. This is like our father and mother and us, right?
Yeah.
Very easy to. Okay, so this is the way how we can inherit another class. Okay,
Yeah. So maybe like instead of calling the details, can we call object dot fname?
what?
Or instead of calling this method details method, can we call only the fname last name like that?
Yes, you have the access to everything, Charan.
Yeah. Got it.
Only you can see Charan Pandala.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah. Understood.
so you can see you know about init method, right?
Yeah.
So we can also declare init here also. Okay, init. Okay, self dot what we can write profession profession equal, let's say, software engineer. Okay, so just right.
Yeah.
So you can see they're showing another error because this child,
Eh,
this child, young man, already inheriting his parent. So his parent has
yeah.
three resource, three positional argument, and this guy himself also, you, you know, hello,
Yeah.
yeah. So okay, so this child inheriting this class, right, parent. So but when we declared, let's say, just delete it. Print object. Okay, object dot name. I should, okay, it will not be executed. Okay,
Object dot profession.
yeah. No, no, profession. I'm telling the, okay. So right now, if I remove the profession like FNA, but they will raise some error because we overrided this init function here. Okay, so
Yeah.
when you call this class, they automatically execute this first one first, not this one.
Okay.
Okay, so that's why
Okay.
when you
Yeah.
pass when you pass some argument here like before, they will raise some error because already you override this init function with this. I mean, this child has its
Yeah.
own init function. He gave the importance on his functions first, then his inherited functions. Okay, so that's why already he has the init function, and he when you call this class, he executed automatically this function, and that
Yeah.
time he has no parameter, right? But you are passing three parameters, so that's why he is showing error.
Yeah.
Okay,
Okay.
he giving the importance on his
Yeah.
function first, not his parents.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes.
but when you don't if you don't declare this,
Yeah.
then he only care about this function.
Okay.
Did you understand?
Yeah, understood. My question is that in the child, if you use init much function, but you if you want to access the parent class, the f name, okay,
Yes,
there is
yes.
also
I'm I'm
init.
I'm
Then how
I'm
we
going.
can do
I'm
that?
going. I'm going. I'm going. Just wait. So this is. Did you understand this part?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. So let's see the next. Okay. and person parent dot init cell comma, let's say name age. Okay, cell dot
Yeah.
name name age. Okay. So
Yeah.
one thing you have to make sure, if you want to access this parent class, you must have to pass these three parameters, right? Otherwise, they will raise error.
Yeah.
So what we are doing,
Okay.
since we are overriding this init function, so we are also accessing the init function and we are passing these three. We are already passing these three in our main init function, right? Under the class, under the child. So we are also
Yeah.
passing these three inside the parent. Okay.
Yeah.
So they will not right now show any error. You can see 23. Sharon Kendall. Okay. Did you understand the code? So first time
Yeah. Understand.
we overrided the init function and then we are passing these three parameter inside the parent init function, because if we want to access the parent function and the details method, we must have to pass these three parameter, otherwise it will raise error, right? So that's how you are technically doing this
Yeah.
thing. And right now we can do everything.
Understood.
Object dot details, you can see.
Yeah.
Okay, clear?
Yes. Yeah.
Is it easy?
Yes. Very clear. Very easy. The actually, I want to tell you, you have a good teaching skills because if you explain it, it's very easy.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so
Yeah. Very excellent skills you have.
so Python, Python is a super programming language. It's an awesome programming
Yeah.
language. So I'm right now, I have to write the class name, right? Which I'm inheriting,
Yeah.
right? So then I have
Yeah.
to declare the init function. Then I have to pass the three parameters, right?
Yeah.
So Python has a super keyword, super, okay? Okay. So then we have to remove self-keyword. Okay. So when you write a keyword super, you don't have to write the class name. So super keyword, what does the super
Okay.
keyword do? Are
Yeah.
you understanding me?
It will bring the parent class.
Yeah. So no, basically super inherits all the methods and properties of the parent class. Do you understand?
Yeah. Yes.
They basically inherits all the methods and properties inside the parent class.
Yes.
Okay, so that's why we don't have to write the self keyword here.
Yeah.
Did you understand?
Yes, I understand.
Okay. So right now, if we print, they're printing and they're giving us the result, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So did you understand this part so far now?
Yeah. I understood. Yeah. It's very clear.
Okay. So let's say we are gonna write another method. This. let's say, how we can write? We are gonna remove this profession from here. Oh, okay. Profession. Profession, okay? Okay.
Yeah.
So we are writing function profession, self, and return, okay? Self dot profession, okay? Okay, I'm
Yeah.
gonna choose prof. Okay. Self dot profession. Okay. So right now, if you run the function, it will raise error because right now, if we call the child class, then it has 4 parameter positional argument, right? You
Yeah.
can say first one, second one, third one, and profession, fourth one. But how many we are passing? We are passing 3.
Yeah.
So we have to pass another. Then if we call object dot prof, you will see software engineering. Do you understand? So
Yeah.
right now, what we are doing, we are already inheriting another class and taking the access of these whole things. And also we can write our own class inside the child class, right?
Yeah.
So this is all about inheritance in Python. Okay.
Yeah. It's very clear.
Oh, so should I jump into the abstraction or later in the next class?
Next class will because I need some practice on this.
Okay. Okay. So just practice this thing and